How about you, David?
Sorry, I missed that question. I had to run out of the room for a second.
Oh, that's okay. I was just wondering if you have been able to use Nucleus and you're able to log in.
Yeah, I can use Nucleus. I have, the only problem I really ever have is really just locating an individual. I'm having a CME meeting or something like that, and somebody registers for it, and I can't find him on any of my active sheets. Something like that is usually what my issues are.
Okay, so I can share with you as we go through this, maybe some tips that would help you find them quicker, if they are a member or if they are a non-member. So
the other problem with the non-members is there's two different lists. There's one that's active, and then one, if I have to figure out whether they're a resident, whether they're active physician, whether they're retired physician, where they fall in, because not all of them are on the unactive lists. And then if they're not on either of those lists, then I always have to wind up calling the help desk to see if are they in any counties or any kind of thing.
Okay, well, hopefully some of the changes that we have made may help with one of those issues. So once we get down the list, we'll certainly take a look. That's what we want these couple sessions this year to be, ways to help you find more quickly what you need, what would be more useful for you. So again, you both, since you're both in this, you probably already know, but on the county share site, we do have an instruction sheet that we always encourage everyone to keep with them, because it kind of walks through each of the different processes of the things that you probably be looking for. If you don't have a printer and you would like us to mail you a copy of those instructions, let me know. We'd be glad to do that. So some recent changes that have just been made, actually have just been made within the last month. Now, I do want to let you know that we've added columns. Right now, the newer added columns are all at the end of all your downloaded sheets. We will be reordering them so that it makes a little more sense where they fall. But right now, we just wanted to get that information out there so that you would have it. Also, of course, it's going to be on all your live cards, but your end of month cards, that information will be on older months. It will be on the months like from this point moving forward. So if you do use the end of month cards, just to make you aware of that. So I'm working off two computers here because it's a little easier for me to share on my personal computer. So you might just have to bear with me a little bit here because I will be putting my glasses on and doing. All right, so you should be able to see, I currently have Potter County pulled up, as it is one of my favorite counties. I just spent 2 weeks up there. So I thought I would pull them up, and then I had already downloaded their member and non-member list. So I'm going to pull up their non-member list so I can show you a few things that have been added. So again, most of these are going to be at the very bottom of the list. Let me see. So they're going to be, I said, bottom over towards the end of the list. So the NPI numbers have been added. Cell phone numbers, I know at one point someone had requested cell phone numbers, said we don't have those. Sometimes those are the easiest way to reach the physicians. So we have added the cell phone number. So you now have any phone number we have, you also have. So you have cell phone, business phone, home phone. If there's nothing listed there, it's because we don't have that information. We now have the IMG column. We did have that on the member card. Previously, we now have added it to the non-member card. So if you were doing an IMG recruitment, you would be able to filter on this column. We have added the home congressional district, state house, and state senate. We had requests for that, so that now will show up towards the end again of the list of what district everyone is in. And then on the non-member cards, another request had been never a member or past member for recruiting purposes. So this column will tell you if they have been a member before. We also have a termination column that will tell you the last time their membership was terminated. So you know if they were a member 10 years ago, 5 years ago, just dropped this past year. Those two columns will help you figure that out. We also, although this already existed in the filters, we now have it on the download if they're eligible for the introductory rate. And then the last thing we did is there were quite a few columns that looked like just ramblings, lots of letters and numbers that weren't useful to you, weren't useful to me. We had Nucleus hide those columns. So hopefully your download looks a little bit better as far as that goes. So having said that, I do want to show you a few quick things that might help you once you download your card. So here is Potter County's, oh, it's not, hold on a second. Share again because I didn't realize my screen wasn't sharing everything. Let's try this again. There we go. All right, so once again, this is Potter County's member card. And this is what it looks like when you first download it. So you can see it's kind of all squished together. And again, you may know some of this stuff and some you may not. So if you do, just bear with me. And if not, hopefully it will be a few things to help you out. So you can expand any column by just dragging the arrow over. The new join, reinstatement, and renewal column, it's important to understand the difference. So a renewal will constitute anybody that was a member the year before. So even after the drops on March 1st, if that position comes back into membership from March 1st until August 31st, we still consider them a renewal because they would have, if they were a member in 2022 and they join or renew in 2023 at all, it is considered a renewal. A reinstatement is when they have been out of membership for at least a year. And then of course, a new join is someone that has never been a member. We have the account number, the last name, first name, and we can go over. Again, you can expand all these columns. You see how this one has all just the number sign It's just because the column is too long to show. So now you can see the paid date just by stretching that column out. And you can do that for whatever columns make sense that you may want to see all the information. And I apologize, I was showing these things before, didn't realize that this was not the screen that was showing. But here's where you have the NPI number, the districts. This column actually shows who is using the members, who is using the introductory rate this year, the cell phone number, and the rest of the district information there. So one way, Dave, I don't know if this helps you with your search or not. When I'm looking for someone specific, Potter County has a very small member list, so it's easy just to eyeball it. But when you have a couple hundred members, that's a different story. You can always do a find and search. I like to highlight my column and come over to the find button. And then I highlighted the last name column because that's what I'm going to search on. So I can go ahead and put in a last name, find next, and then we'll go down through your list. And we'll show you that last name if it is there. If there's multiple of the same last name and the first one that it highlights in it, you can go ahead and hit the find next. Of course, if you have a last name like Smith, that can make it a little more challenging. You can also always sort. Once again, I need to move. I have a toolbar that keeps getting right where I need to be. You can go under the data, sort, and you can sort A to Z. You can custom sort if you want to sort by the last name. There you go, they're in order that way. So that's how I like to look for something specific when I can't find it. If I'm looking for something that I'm not sure where it is on the sheet, I've had quite a few people say, we don't have the email address on here. You can go ahead and hit the find again, and I could just type in email. Now, I don't know what column that is, so I don't have anything highlighted. The only thing I want to tell you about the find and search button is if you have multiple cells highlighted, it will tell you it can't find anything. So you only would want to have one highlighted. When I hit find next, it took me right to AD, which is the email column. If I had two, it comes back and says we can't find what you're looking for. So that's why I said just always be careful. You only have one highlighted, or if you know the column you're searching in, you can highlight the column. One column we are looking to add, it's not complete yet. It would be in both the member and the non-member card is a bill to group column, so that you know when it comes time to renewals, you know how they're being billed, if we're billing the group for their membership or if they're being individually billed. That is not complete yet. The paid through column, I want to explain this because this will get a little bit tricky once we flip September 1st. The paid through year is always going to show the last year of membership that was paid for. So since all of our drops are done, if everything is working correctly, on our end, the pay through, the only year should be 2023, because we have now dropped anybody who hasn't paid for 2020. What you will start to see after September 1st is some of these are going to say 2024. That simply means that they have paid for next year. So that's an easy way to see who has paid for the next year and who hasn't. And you can simply do that. If you have a lot of people, you can turn on your filters, which is up here. So once that's on, this works just like it does in Nucleus. I could go ahead, and if there was a 2024, I could uncheck the 2023. It would show me the people who have paid, or vice versa. And that's a lot of how Nucleus works too.
Is there a column that for dues paid? I mean, what they have paid in dues?
No.
Okay.
That is not a possibility for Nucleus.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's one of those that we just, it's all I can say is it's complicated.
Okay. So it's still that I have to, because I mean, I need it every year when I'm doing my budget, which starts at the end of this, beginning of next month. So I just have to.
You just have to reach out to me for that, and I can get that to you. We've looked at that a couple times, but because it comes from so many different places in that forum, it's not just a table that they can pull it from. It's just one of those things we're not able to add. We can look at it. So yeah, something like that, you just need to contact me, and I always ask if you can give me like 2 weeks notice. That's appreciated, and I can get that information for you.
Very good, thank you.
Sure. I'm hoping right now that's about the only thing that we don't have in Nucleus. We try to mirror with these last changes that any information we have, you also have. Minus some of those, like you said, those really complex things. Of course, we still need to pull those.
Yeah, because like I said, it's just that one thing that when I'm just looking for one individual, whether it's, I saw an obituary of a physician and he's not current, kind of thing like that. Where was he ever in Lehigh County? That was the one thing that was nice about the old system, is I could go in and find exactly who he is, where he was a member, when he was last a member, all that kind of stuff. So it's finding somebody who's not a current member is what I always have trouble with.
So if they're not a current member, so on our non-member card, anybody will show up on a non-member card that has an address that is in your county. So they could have a business address in your county and a home address. Like for Potter, the business address could be Potter County, the home address could be Tioga County. If they have an address within your county, it will show on your non-member card. Now, if they are a member, but they are a member of a different county, even though they may have an address in your county, the members only show in the county that they are a member of. But for the non-members, if they have an address in your county, they're recruitable for your county, so they do show on this download. If you do recruitments, it's great to use the introductory offer to see who is eligible and who is not eligible. The only thing I will say about this, and we're working on this, right now, some people show up that are not physicians, and we are working on it so that it only shows physicians. So if you do that, you do need to then go down to medical type. Hold on there. And select doctor of medicine, doctor of osteopathy, and go from there. Because now this county didn't have any, but we were seeing some admins show up, and they should not be showing up. So A column we are looking to add to the non-member is the proposed package. And we're changing this a little bit so that if it is retired, it will show if the position is retired and we know that, it will show in the download that their proposed package is a retired package. If they're eligible for introductory, it'll say proposed package would be introductory. And if they're only eligible for full, it would say proposed package would be active, full active. And hopefully that will show up within the next month, if not before then. So Dave, you can do a search on the non-members, just like I showed you how to do on the members, whether it be like, you know, searching for last name or if you had their account number. If there's someone who's deceased and we are already aware of that, they are not going to show up here because we don't show deceased members or non-members. We don't even show them in the database for us. We actually hide them. So if we can't find someone who was a physician and we know they were a physician, somebody probably already marked them as deceased and we have to search for them in a different way. So
then, but I noticed there is a column on the spreadsheet that says deceased.
And they were supposed to hide that column. I don't know if they hit it yet or not.
I mean, I maybe I haven't taken this since the beginning of the month, or I haven't gone in and looked, but I know there had been a column that said deceased in there.
We were trying to have them hide anything that just was not necessary. Yeah, I don't know that that column exists anymore.
Okay.
I don't think that column exists anymore. So yeah, this is only showing the non-deceased people. So yeah, you can search that way. If you cannot find them, you can certainly call the Knowledge Center and they can look and tell you the information. If they're a member, we do have the all member list on the county share site under Nucleus. If you click on Nucleus, there is a page with all the members listed for any county. So you can always also search that. So is there anything else I can help you with, or I mean anything I can help you with, or any issues you've had?
I really didn't have any questions for today. I just kind of wanted to see what you were going to show us, but I do appreciate all these added columns because I think we'll definitely use them. And there was another column that I can't remember. I think we had asked you to add and you did, and it was super helpful. And now I can't remember what that column was.
I know
it might have been if they were eligible for the introductory rate. Maybe it was that one.
Well, and I think that one was one where you had to filter on it, but it did not show up on the pull down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one was just added in like the last month or so. Again, those columns are going to be reorganized, so it makes a little bit more sense. And you know, I'm not a fan of having like random columns at the end. I like it to make sense. If you're going through the addresses and the phone numbers, the cell phone should be in that location. The NPI should be with the medical license. And but right now we just wanted them to get the information so that it was at your fingertips. So you will see those columns move into places that make a little bit more sense within the next few weeks, I would imagine. We're working with them pretty frequently right now, so they're pushing the changes out as quickly as they can. but yes, the feedback we received from several counties has been really helpful in determining some things we can do to make things better moving forward, and hopefully, especially when it comes to doing recruitments, you have the tools you need to do that. But I would encourage you, you have any questions, to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you, happy to help you find something if you can't find it. Again, David, you have a question about a specific person that you cannot find, you're welcome to give us a call and we'll see what we can figure out from our end. So, if you have any other questions though, feel free to give us a call and we'll be happy to give you a hand.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.